Hello, and welcome to Rainy Tuesdays, the podcast for friends by friends, or however that intro goes. I'm Adam, and I got Ryan and Margot with me as always.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
We're here.
We're here. We're surviving.
And thriving.
Oh man.
I'm
So much has
thriving pretty
happened.
well. I just got back from
It's
vacation
Yeah, you went to
Ooh.
the Virgin
to the
Islands.
Virgin Islands. It was funny because we touched down in the Virgin Islands, and that day the CDC said it was a high risk area to be, which was very fun.
Oh
Yeah.
yikes.
You brought the
Oh,
COVID there.
man.
I got tested beforehand, so no COVID for me.
Fair.
But
It's-
it was a
I
fun time to learn that as we were there.
Oh man. Hope it's not too late to say, but be careful. Oh man.
I
Fair.
was gonna say I got lucky because I went to the NBA Finals in Milwaukee, and there was 65,000 people there, and I didn't even think about that. And then I saw a news story that's 500 people tested positive. I was like, well, I'm good, I guess. That was over 2 weeks ago.
Right. That's fair.
I didn't even
It's
think about
scary.
that.
Yeah, I'm getting worried. I care a lot more about COVID than I think you guys do.
Yes,
But
that's true.
but it's getting spooky.
It is
we
getting
gotta
spooky. Delta variant's doing really terrible. There's a new Lambda
yeah.
variant that just popped
Yeah.
up in,
Mhm.
or it was elsewhere, but now it's made its way to Japan. Scary stuff.
It's not great. So get vaccinated.
Yeah,
I feel very
if you're
bad for
not
children.
vaccinated and you don't have a medical issue for not being vaccinated or are a child, you're an idiot. Get vaccinated.
Yeah, get vaccinated. Yeah, people are stupid and selfish, and I'm done with all of them. But
Yeah.
I feel very bad for children right now, especially ones who have to go into school, especially in areas where they're not
In areas where they
caring
are
about that.
vehemently denying that
Right.
COVID is existing and
Yeah,
forcing kids to go to school.
Mhm.
yeah.
Not to be
Uh,
instantly depressing, but there was a
Yeah.
recent
we really went there.
there was a recent death from a kid who got COVID from school with no existing medical issues at all. It was
That's
great.
horrible.
Great.
Dang.
Oh man,
You know what, anti-vaxxers, this is your fault.
Yeah.
it is.
You know what I don't
Uh,
Get
understand?
the vaccine.
There's all these COVID conspiracies, and none of them make sense with each other. Remember when people
No.
thought 5G gave you COVID?
Oh my god.
I know.
People are the dumbest people alive. I was talking about this with someone about people who are anti-vaxxers because they think a bunch of different things are in the vaccine, right? And it's like they're all stupid. They're all like the craziest ones that I've heard have been they're injecting other people's DNA into your body, and it's like no, they're not. Like your body would reject that. You would die instantly. They're putting fetuses in you, and it's like one, how big do you or I guess how small do you think a fetus is? And then two, again, no, they're not. DNA that isn't yours will not
Mhm.
be injected into you. And then there's obviously the microchip ones.
I
There
saw
was
one where it says
one,
it makes you sterile, which doesn't make sense
right,
because it's what's the end goal there?
right,
Because
like
some people don't
okay,
want to get it, and so the people that are gonna get it, you want them to be sterile.
right, and then it's also odd to me because it's like if they're just gonna kill off the human race, why would they not just inject you with something that'll just kill you?
Yeah, why are they
Um,
killing off the race that's doing what?
the future one, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. But then there's also ones that were Biden himself is trapping it against children underground and stealing their blood and then injecting it into you, and it's like, no, he's not.
What's always wild to me is very far right conservative conspiracy theories about what
Mhm.
Democrats and Biden are doing, and they're always the most insane things imaginable.
I
It's
know, yeah.
just
It's not
basic
happening,
common
sweetie.
sense tells you that's not how life works.
Sweaty, calm down. It's just
It's
I don't know.
comically evil levels, and that's what they think
I
genuinely
And
happens.
that's the
right.
other thing too, because as more things come out, they keep having to change it, with the
Hmm.
story. I remember back in December, they're like, "Oh, it's going to come out, and Trump's going to be responsible, and Democrats aren't going to want to get it because Trump made
Yeah.
the vaccine." And then like now the vaccine's out, it sort of flipped. I just think
That's
that's
like the
interesting.
silliest thing to me is that it's like this vaccine was made under Trump's administration. It is being distributed under Biden's administration. So both sides of the political party spectrum have like signed off on this. So it makes no sense for people to politicize it.
Mhm.
But people are dumb.
People are just stupid. The most irritating thing to me, and I've had this rant outside the podcast with you guys, but I'll repeat it
Yeah.
here because now I'm
100%.
heated about this. I can't stand when people are like, I won't get the vaccine because I don't know what's in it. You don't know what's in anything you put in your body. Why are you
Nothing.
hung up here? Look at any food you eat ever. You have no idea what's in that.
I swear to, do you use soap? You telling me you understand every bit of soap?
It's crazy. And some of the people, so like there's this guy that I tangentially know, like he went to high school with me, who is very anti-vax and is for that reason. He's like, I don't know what's in it, so I don't want to put it in my body. But the small problem with this is that he is also an avid cocaine user. So you're putting cocaine in your body, and you're going to be like, but I don't want to put the vaccine in my body. Who knows what could be in that? Who knows what's in the illegal drug you're getting?
Okay, pharmacists who listen to this podcast, I don't know if we have a pharmacist base, but if we do, right, I want you guys to figure out a way to make COVID vaccines into a party drug. Because then everyone would be vaccinated. Like if you could snort the vaccine, like COVID wouldn't be a problem anymore. I'm just sure of it.
If you just get yourself into like frat bro culture and be like, yo, dude, we're gonna get high on the COVID vax this weekend.
Oh my god, they call it weed. Like, oh my god. It's just like, God, I don't know. People are stupid. Like if you could make it into like a shot, people would take it like a shot of drinking, not a shot of vaccine. I realized that was a poor choice of words, but like I just oh my god, people are dumb. What a way to start the podcast.
But on the original topic, Adam, how was the Virgin Islands?
It was great. I'm not a beach person. I think as I've made clear over the course of this podcast, but I had a blast. It was fun.
Nice.
Good.
Saw a bunch of sea turtles. Got to swim with sea turtles.
Oh.
I got burned.
Wow.
Which is, I've only been burned twice in my entire life. Well, probably a little bit more than that, but like badly burned at least. And it's both been in the Virgin Islands. So.
Oh dang.
Did you eat like a tomato sandwich afterwards, like we talked about on the last podcast?
Tomato sandwich?
Or just like food? Like, did you like come back home and go like, I've been sun poisoned. Now I'll eat and then feel better?
I truthfully
what was
have
that
no idea
for,
what you're talking about.
Oh
in one
my
ear,
God.
out the other. I don't remember anything we talked about on a previous podcast.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's very funny to me, especially when we record multiple podcasts at once, because like I always forget what we talk about and then I'll edit it and I'm like, oh shit, we talked about that. That's crazy.
It's funny, like we'll do this. We'll sit down, we'll record, then we hang up, I go and talk to my family or my girlfriend, and they'll be like, "Oh, what do you guys talk about?" And I'll be like, "I don't know."
I don't
know.
Who's to say?
Something's in here.
Oh man,
we talked for like 3 hours because we talked for a long time before and after, and then it's like I couldn't tell you a single thing we talked about though.
Ryan probably mentioned something about video games. I don't know.
Right.
Miraculous was brought up.
Movies were discussed. I will not take the bait. But then, it's a good time, especially because like we always talk for like a good portion of time like before we record, and then we record, and then we talk a bunch afterwards. And so it's always like, wait, did we talk about that on the podcast, or did we talk about that like directly after? Or yeah,
that's the eternal question. It's I'm like, what did this happen on the podcast or not?
Oh man, fair.
That
Adam
was
is wearing.
Oh,
what?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that Adam's wearing an Avatar themed shirt.
Yeah,
For video watchers, you can see it.
you can see part
It's
of
a
it. It's
yeah,
Sokka's cactus juice.
Mhm.
yeah.
It's the
And
quenchiest.
so it's the quinchiest. And our palates of as fans have been quenched a little bit because they've released the live action actors for the main four of the show's first season, which is very exciting. And I love it.
I love it. I could not be happier with this casting. The only gripe is that Sokka and Zuko are older, but they said they were aging them up anyway, so it doesn't matter.
And they're not that much older. They're 19. Like
Yeah,
it's
but because the Aang's actor is 11, which
yeah, but
is
like
what it is, and
Mhm.
Katara's
right.
14. So, like, it
I
all
want
is
to be
age,
clear.
but
They don't like Zuko definitely looks a little older.
yes.
Sokka still looks like a complete teenager.
Yeah,
Like he doesn't
absolutely.
look too old at all.
Mhm.
But like I think that works, especially because like you'd have a lot of makeup on Zuko anyway, and like it's I think that they're great. I love them. I
I think
think
it's
that
perfect.
like the guy who's playing Aang is like perfectly goofy looking, and he's got like kind of bigger ears. So, like it's so perfectly casted, and
Yes.
I'm so excited.
I was really happy in
Um,
particular. There's all like racial accuracy.
all accurate. Yeah.
Katara's actress is an indigenous
Mhm.
American. It was like, this is everything I wanted.
Yeah. Um, it's wonderful. Like they listened to a lot of the complaints that people had with the movie, and then like also a lot of people were saying like, hey, listen, it's fine that you're gonna do this, but a lot of us are getting nervous because like the writers quit and everything, so like
Mhm.
you better not be whitewashing. And they didn't. So yay, go Netflix. They did the bare minimum, and they really did it. So I'm excited.
Mhm.
um, I've made it clear before. I'm like electing to be as positive as possible about the show until I have a reason not to be, because I don't want to go into it hating it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
My
until I
thought
see
is
it.
going
Yeah.
as negative as possible and be surprised if it's good. And if
Oh, man.
it's bad, then I can be like, haha, I was right.
See, that's usually how I do things. Like, I remember that's how I did the not the Suicide Squad, but Suicide Squad. Now that they didn't change anything about the name to make the sequel, but they added a
It's
the. But for the
Suicide Squad
original
versus the
Suicide Squad
Suicide Squad.
movie, that's how I did it. I went on being like, this is
Mhm.
gonna be trash, and it was.
Yeah.
But it was fun trash.
It was entertaining trash. I did not regret my experience.
Exactly. Good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But that should be
I
interesting.
yeah.
I
I'm
have
so
no
excited.
faith in Netflix to make anything, honestly.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I don't
Well,
know.
something fun.
I feel like my experience with Netflix is they generally do a good job. I mean they have a really low bar for greenlighting
Yeah.
things, but for adaptations, at least the ones that I've seen, I think they do a pretty good job. Like I've seen Series of Unfortunate Events. I think they nailed that. I think The Witcher is
Mhm.
really good.
Yeah, which
I don't
is
know.
good.
The ones I've seen have
I
been
was
fabulous.
I am very concerned for The Witcher. Because
I think that's fair.
I did not know a trailer came out like a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
They had like
two,
WitcherCon or something.
yeah, and then two, it is nothing like the books.
Yeah. I was reading a lot of complaints. So I barely played the game, and then I haven't read the books or anything. I just really like Henry Cavill.
Mhm.
So I will be watching season 2. But I was reading a lot of complaints about the fact that it seems very, very different. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, so
know.
I'm not sure how they're gonna do it because it very much seems like they're trying to copy the games, which is okay, but also they're trying to act like, hey, look, we're just doing what the books is because we've got the guy that wrote the books here, and the guy that wrote the
Right.
books is not a big fan of the games. Um,
Fair.
so I think it's just interesting that they're trying to do both,
Hmm.
which I think can be a little
I think
messy.
it's probably a hard bridge for them because the games
Yeah.
were, especially Witcher 3 was so popular in America that they're like, we want to cater to that audience, but
Right.
we have the author here and he really hated the video games, but the books aren't nearly as popular as the game was, so people aren't as
Mhm.
familiar with that. So what are you doing to try to cater to those audiences?
Exactly. Like a big thing with that, like for example, is in the books, Geralt always like only carries one sword at a time, and it's never on his back. But in the games, it's iconic. He's got like 2 swords on his back,
Right.
and in the show, he's got 2 swords on his back, or for the most part, 1 sword, but it's on his back, which is not a book thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's small stuff like that where it's like trying to appeal to that, which I think sort of works. But I'll just be interested to see like, because the plots of like the game versus the book are different, and like trying to go from the book now to the games might be a little messy. So
Mhm.
Yeah. On the note of like Netflix just doing it all though, I do think that like it's they do greenlight everything they can, and some of them are really really horrible, but some of them like really come through. And I also loved Series of Unfortunate Events. I think they did so wonderfully with that. I think that Dash and Lily, which is the show that I told you guys about, that was like a fun little adaptation from a book. That one was so cute and fun, very Christmassy. They I think they do a lot of really good stuff with their like original shows, like especially ones that they've taken from other things. So like Lucifer, when they like took over, they did a really good job of keeping up with the same like energy of the show. And they did like Stranger Things is like started so well. I don't love like the later bits of it, but I still like found them entertaining, and I know that the newest season's also coming out soon.
2022.
Is it soon? I thought it was just
Yeah.
someday. It's
The season 3 came out in 2019.
Yeah.
I knew it was
Those-
bad, and
it's so
we don't
funny
have a
to me.
trailer by now. I was like, Stranger Things is like maybe.
I thought we did get it. We got
Oh,
like
And
there
there's
was a
supposed to be
teaser
another
trailer.
season after this too.
yeah,
There was a teaser that said that Hopper was alive, and that was the only thing it did.
right.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
was interesting. 'cause it's
Weird
like,
to do
why
that
And we
as a
got one.
reveal in a
I
teaser.
don't know.
We've gotten well, I mean like everyone knew already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then like we've gotten like set pictures recently for the newest season. And so it's like I'm interested to see what they do with that. It's not like necessarily my favorite thing, but I do think that they did really well with like starting it. And so it's like, I don't know, I'm into it. And then also the Fear Street thing that Adam talked about.
Yes.
I didn't watch it, but I watched a review of it.
Oh my god, you
Because
should watch it.
I'm afraid of scary things. And that was the best way that I could think to watch it, because you wanted us to watch it. And
'Cause
I
it's
was like, "Seems scary."
Fantastic.
And I agree with my assessment of it seemed scary. But I know the whole like plot of it now and everything, and like a lot of the different shots, and it's like I think that it was done really well. I just don't think I could sit and like be scared by things by it without watching it through someone
I
else
could go
watching it.
on about Fear Street forever. It was so fantastic. Loved it.
But it's like,
Great job on
I-
Netflix.
like,
Everything
yeah,
about it was
I-
great.
Netflix
Well,
gets a lot of hate because they make
one
a lot of
gory
things.
scene. They could have left out
But,
the one
like,
gory scene, but what can
there
they
was. It seems like there was a few more than one.
do? Yeah,
But
just like one.
okay.
One main one.
Your guys' level or like tolerance for gore is very low.
Mine is.
Yes,
I
I
think
actually.
Adam can handle more than I can.
You guys can't stand Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I couldn't do Attack on Titan. I couldn't
which
do
is,
The
like,
Walking
nothing
Dead
compared
either.
to most
Like,
anime.
I generally can't do gore.
I so desperately want to watch The Boys on Amazon Prime, and I just can't bring myself to do it.
There's some rough parts. There's some real
Yeah.
rough parts.
Especially
especially season 2.
Such a good show.
I feel like especially season 2, there's some real just rough things to watch. Like I feel like season 1 there was more
Yeah.
like emotional roughness of like this is just
Mhm.
hard to see these characters, but like season 2 is like this is hard visually. They like tore a whale apart, and you're like, I don't want to see that, and you do.
Mhm.
Yeah, that sounds gross. I keep people keep referencing it in like critical reviews of other things. They're like, and then they did this in The Boys, which was really interesting, and then stuff like that. And I'm like, well, they did that. That sounds cool. Like, I want to see that. And then I am just like, also though, I would probably vomit every time I watch that show. Like,
Do you think Jeff Bezos is personally requesting it?
that I vomit or The Boys.
Both. both. I
Because
know I've
yes to
seen like
both.
the theory of like it's interesting that Jeff Bezos pilots a series where like Superman or like the equivalent of Superman is the bad guy.
Right. Uh, and he is the equivalent of Lex Luthor in our
Hmm.
reality.
Although the show is very anti-big corporation. It's like kind of the big theme
Yeah.
because the superheroes are all like corporate. It's like one big corporation is sponsoring them all.
Mhm.
So it's feel like anti-corporation. So
Yeah.
maybe he
What I
doesn't get
need,
that message.
Maybe.
Who
I need
knows?
to like, I want to like hire a person to like watch whatever I want to watch for me, right?
And then
And
just tell
then
you what happens.
no, just sit with me while I watch it and be like, close your eyes. Okay, open your eyes. Okay, close your eyes. Like for when I need to look away.
Mhm.
Oh man. Yeah, that'll solve things.
Yeah.
Because that's how I watch Tarantino movies with some friends that like
Oh,
have already seen
nice.
certain ones. Like if I'm
Mhm.
watching a new one for the first time, they're like, it's coming. And I'm like, okay. Like it's good.
Yeah.
Um
I'm curious
yeah.
about that show Invincible on Amazon Prime. I don't know anything
I've
about
That's
heard
it.
good
another one
things.
that I won't watch because of gore.
Is it
Right.
gory?
Yes.
Yeah, it's apparently really, really gory. Because that's the same reason that I didn't watch it. We have a friend who she was like, you have to watch this. We had like you're gonna love it. It's so good. And then she was like, also though, there's blood every 5 minutes, and I was like,
Yeah, but it's like anime. That never
right,
like
It
bothers
is.
me.
eh,
The boys probably bothers me more.
Yeah.
Because that's like more
fair,
realistic type.
yeah. I will say it is interesting because like, as someone who has like had medical issues, I've never been like afraid of like I guess at this point in my life I should say I can like see them like do an IV or like see
Mhm.
them like do a needle or
Yeah.
something without being like oh no like I'm gonna faint, but like whenever for whatever reason it's like it's something about it being so grotesque on screen to me, like I don't know why, but I also like even in like the Hunger Games, like I recently watched that for the first time this year, like the series,
The
and they
first
do a
time.
lot of yeah, I'd seen the first movie
Okay.
before, and then I think half the second movie, but I'd never seen the full series.
I haven't either. I
And
always saw the
so
first one. I assumed everyone saw
the
the first one, but
Mhm.
the later ones are actually really well done.
are they?
But
The third
like
book is real bad.
Yeah.
I didn't read it. I've only seen the movies, but
If they made something out of that, I'll be impressed.
Yeah.
It's
I will say it
nonsense.
should have
That
been
third
one
book
movie.
is.
It shouldn't have been two movies. I think they were trying to be something bigger than they are. But they're also coming out with a prequel movie of that soon.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
Because there's a book that is from President Snow's perspective,
Oh, I heard about
um,
that.
and so they're making a movie out of that. Yeah.
I
Um,
don't know. I just feel tired hearing about sequels now. I don't know why. Or like all these extended universe stuff. Like I went
oh
to the
man.
movies to watch Black Widow and
Mhm.
I saw a trailer of did you guys ever see Crazy Rich Asians?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like the main guy from it, he's like in an action movie. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is really cool. I was like, this is so awesome. And then I saw Snake Eyes, a G.I. Joe movie,
Yep.
and
I
I
had
was
the
like,
Yep.
exact same experience. I was like, oh,
oh,
interesting. Kind of ninja fight action movie. And then it
yeah.
was G.I. Joe Snake Eyes. And I was like, well, now I'm not interested.
I don't care anymore. I just feel tired. I'm like, I don't want to like be invested in this.
It's funny to me because it's just y- like realistically, how much better is that movie actually doing because you put that brand on it than you would if it was like George instead of Joe.
Yeah,
You know,
like
like
John Wick is you're
right.
pretty I thought run of the mill action movie. I know it's very critically acclaimed, but it's an
Mhm.
action movie,
Yeah.
and they're kind of all pretty similar, and it did very well, and it was original. Why couldn't you just do that? Like, yeah, what are you gaining from putting GI Joe on the label? It's kind of an old
It's like
franchise. They haven't made a movie in a long time.
Yeah,
that's my point is that it's like it's especially when they're so old where it's just like I don't understand why or like it can't be so significantly like better box office wise to like
yeah.
have it be a GI Joe movie than just a regular action movie.
Hmm.
But people are something.
Mhm.
I don't know. The Jungle Cruise movie came out.
Yeah, I
Disney
watched
did
it.
that.
How
Was
is
it
it? I've
good? Because
heard
I heard
good
that it
things.
Yeah, I enjoyed
wasn't
it.
worth it.
I
I
enjoyed
heard
it.
that it was just kind of like one of those movies that exists.
I heard it was surprisingly good. And I was
I
like,
thought
ooh,
it
I
was
just want
good.
to check it out.
I thought it was surprising. I was kind of expecting, I don't know, just like an okay movie, but
Yeah.
Right.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I guess the
We'll take
easiest
it then.
comparison is the Jumanji movie, where I was like, this looks
Yeah.
good, but it could be awful, and then it was very good, and that's kind of how I thought with this. I saw the trailers, and I was like, weird Disney, but sure, I'll see this because I like The Rock and I
Mhm.
like Emily Blunt,
Fair
and it
enough.
was great.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
I will say, credit to um the fan petition to replace Amber Heard with Emily Blunt. Is there were so many times that I saw the poster for this movie and thought that it was Amber Heard in the movie and not Emily Blunt, because they look very similar. And I was just like, oh, that's crazy. Whoa. And so it's like, yeah, she should totally replace Amber Heard because I really truly thought she was Amber Heard for a long time. Yeah. Because for a long time I was like, I'm just not going to see the movie because it's Amber Heard. But then I realized it wasn't. But
I was planning on
Oh,
seeing
man.
it, but now I don't know if I will. I'll probably just wait till it comes out on like
Right.
free.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. That's what I'll do. Yeah. I got duped because I wanted to watch the Suicide Squad, and so I redid HBO, and they have an option that it's like with ads, $10 a month instead of 15, and I was like, I'll just do that for the month instead. But they didn't say anywhere until after you've bought it that you need the $15 a month one to watch their like new release. And so now I'm like, do I upgrade and like potentially have them charge me $25 instead
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
15? Or do I
Maybe
just
not
like
worth
wait
it.
till next month? Or like I don't know. And so now I'm
Mhm.
upset.
Well, if you wait till next month, it's gonna be gone.
They're leaving it in a month?
So
Ooh,
the
that's
thing with them is
frustrating.
they only come out for 1 month and then they take them off for about
Yeah.
5 months and then put it on there for free.
Yep.
That's so
Because
upsetting.
I
What I
also
might
got
do then?
HBO
Yeah.
again because
Mhm.
apparently it comes free with AT&T.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So
Yeah, why
I've
not?
got HBO now.
Mhm. What I might
Wait,
do?
it does come free with AT&T?
Apparently. I like got a text one day. It's like, hey, you have free HBO. And I was like, oh, okay.
Because
Neat.
my dad has AT&T. Maybe I can get HBO Max.
Here's my plan. I hope no HBO people are listening to hear me dupe them. What I'll do is I'll wait until the night before my thing would renew, and I will get it for another month with a 15 thing. I will watch it that night and then keep it for the month with a 15 thing, and then get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because that way I still saved, I guess, $5 for 2
Yeah.
months instead of, that's how I'll justify it in my mind, at least. Anyway, I think companies are stupid and everything should be free. But, oh man, I want to go back to a bartering system.
Would you take 2 sheep for 1 ticket to the Suicide Squad?
Right. I'm like, hi, James Gunn. Here's my 3 apples. Can I watch your movie? Oh man, yeah. Well, speaking of apples, we were talking about.
I was going to say, we are nearing the end of this podcast, and we had a full plan that included nothing about movies and TV shows and streaming services, and somehow that's just become our episode.
It always does. I'm gonna fight one little bit of the segment in there, and we'll do it as a full.
Yeah, we
segment
might
next
do
week.
it next week.
Yeah. But we were talking about like little fun trivia things. To be like, isn't it crazy that like this state does this thing and like that state does another thing? And so if you want to do yours, Adam, because that was like apples and products and stuff.
So I actually was not able to find it, unfortunately.
Fair enough. I'll do one of mine then.
But I can start with the fun fact of not like a guessing game because we talked about this earlier, but the vast majority of apples are grown in Washington, which is, I guess, I feel like we have a lot of listeners in Washington, so shout out to Washington.
We actually do.
So maybe you knew that already, but Midwestern, I had no idea. I thought everyone grew apples, and it was a kind of equal split. But no, almost 60% of apples are grown in Washington.
As an East Coaster, I thought it was Pennsylvania because that's like a lot of Pennsylvania is apple orchards. And like all throughout high school, it was like the Apple Harvest Festival and the Apple like Blossom Festival, and, like stuff like that. So that's fun. I found just a quick list so that we won't spoil any of the ones for next week. About just like the biggest product from the state, like what each state's thing is. So I'm gonna just scroll and pick a random one.
Are we guessing
Oh,
this?
yeah, we'll do a few little guessing things, just for a fun little thing. I'm gonna do 5 states.
Okay.
And then we'll switch whether I say the product or the state, and then you
Okay.
guys guess whichever one. Okay. So first we'll do state. So I'm gonna do Tennessee. What do you think their product is?
So does,
Whiskey.
I was
What?
gonna
Whiskey.
Wow.
I was gonna
Okay.
say, does product mean a food or beverage item, or is it like
Seemingly, it means literally anything
literally
that you can
anything?
buy.
I don't know what Tennessee does.
I don't know. Country, bluegrass.
Does racism count as a product?
Oh man.
Do they grow anything in Tennessee? I've only been to like swampland,
Hot
Tennessee.
sauce?
Fish? I don't know. There's no way it's fish. There's absolutely no way it's fish.
Tennessee is like not connected to water at all.
They got tons of
It
swamps though.
actually, yeah, no, they do. They've got water. We got swamps. We got.
Compared to somewhere like Florida, which is
But yeah,
surrounded.
like
It's not fish
definitely
though.
not
That's
leading
not.
to fish.
Yeah.
I was just thinking like, wow, that's not fish at all. I was gonna say I when I went to Tennessee a lot as a kid, I always got hush puppies, but that's not fish, so I don't know why I thought that. I don't know why I connected that in my mind.
The most iconic product for Tennessee is whiskey.
Aha!
Nailed it.
Yeah. And it's because of Jack Daniels.
Mhm.
So yeah. Alrighty. Let's see. Scrolling randomly and picking another one. Okay. Wow, this is bad. Okay, Nevada.
Gambling.
Solar energy.
Playing cards.
Wait, I think there's a nuclear energy. There's no way Nevada grows anything. Cactus.
It is actually casinos, which I think is a very loose term of product.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a product. Get out of
Are
here.
they
Whatever
selling it in
website you're using.
casinos?
Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna do a product, and you have to tell me which state.
Okay.
Okay. Farm equipment.
Illinois.
Illinois, right? Wait. Oh yeah, Illinois.
I thought that would be much harder. Yeah, it's Illinois. I thought you'd be like, oh, every state has farms.
Easy.
It
Oh,
was
isn't
my
it?
bad.
Illinois has John Deere.
Yeah, it's like
and
John Deere's
Caterpillar.
based here in Caterpillar. Yeah.
Wow, I thought that would be a little bit more difficult. It was not.
This is like that
Um,
Chronicles of Narnia. I was there when it was written or something.
Right, yeah.
Do not speak the deep magic to me, witch.
Okay, copper. That's got to be harder.
Hmm.
Copper.
They
I'm
added
gonna
copper to
say-
Minecraft recently.
Yeah, I heard about that. Adding lots
I
of
don't
things to
know.
Minecraft.
Is Minecraft a state?
Every time, like,
Oh my god.
every time I go back into Minecraft, I'm always astounded by how much they've added.
I am going to say Missouri.
Interesting. I'm gonna say West Virginia because I know there's a lot of mining there.
We were both wrong. It's Arizona.
Really?
Weird.
I know. So apparently, it's like one of the biggest features of their economy. So they like lead every other state in not only copper productions, but also, wait, okay, that was just a really poorly written sentence. So basically, they beat every other state, but they also like account for basically 2/3 of the nation's copper production, which is a
Okay.
lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
So I had what? Oh, what's
this copper discussion reminds me of a fun little history fact. For a long time, there was the Bronze Age, where bronze was the metal of choice, and everything was made of bronze. To make bronze, you need tin, and fun fact, historians have no idea where they got their tin to make all the bronze. Who
Fair.
Isn't
knows?
there also a thing too of like no one knows how the
Magic.
Egyptians got so much gold?
Magic.
Oh yeah, I think
Because
Dragons.
like
because they were like gold's like Egyptians' thing. They just had tons of gold.
Yeah.
yeah, but also like I think the nearest deposit of it is like down the Nile, quite a way in like Ethiopia.
They did.
So like
Egypt did raid a bunch of the southern kingdoms, so maybe they
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
just
about to say
stole
it
them.
wasn't
like
a
I
good
guess yeah,
thing.
but like they had a
Yeah.
ton of it too,
But
and
yeah,
like
they had a lot.
cast it into stuff like sarcophagus. I can't speak.
I know a
Sarcophagus.
good bit about like the late Bronze Age, and it got to the point where all these other kingdoms would just be like to the pharaoh, just be like, "Hey, I'll send you my daughter to marry for gold," and they just like
Oh my
every kingdom
God.
would do this because Egypt had so much gold.
Mhm.
Right. Alrighty. So this last one that we'll do, and then we'll talk about what we rate on our parades. This is one that I think East Coast people would know, but I'm not sure if you guys would.
Oh, we got a
Um,
hint.
we did get a hint because I feel like it's needed.
Wait, real quick
Where?
side note.
Yeah.
We're only at 36 minutes, so
Oh,
we're
you made it
actually
sound like
we're
it was
good to
so
go.
much later.
Yeah.
Well, because we're at 9:51, but I guess we didn't start at 9, so we're good to go.
I was rushing.
Good to
Yeah.
go.
Oh,
We can
no.
draw it out.
Oh my God. Okay.
We got 15 more minutes of this.
Gotcha. Well then I'm gonna just still do this one anyway, and then I'm probably gonna move on to a different list because I don't love this list.
Fair enough.
But okay. Who is known for cranberries?
I think
Vermont.
Vermont is an interesting. Yeah, you said East Coast, right? So East Coast.
It's somewhere north. Because I remember those like commercials where they have the people standing in like the
In the
lakes that
bog.
are full of like cranberries.
Yeah. I love those commercials. Those are some of my
I
favorite.
want to say New York, because New York has
Okay.
like it's a big state, got a lot of agriculture, even though you only associate with the city. So
Sure.
I'm gonna say New York.
Interesting. You're both very close. It's Massachusetts. So you had the
Oh.
right area. Yeah. Um yeah. All right. I'm proud of you guys for getting like the area of the East Coast and not being like South Carolina. Yeah. Um alrighty.
Interesting. When I think East Coast, I always think Northeast. I'll usually be like South if I'm in the South Carolina, but I guess it is on the East Coast. But I
On East
never, if I like think
You're not
East
alone in that.
Coast, that's not South Carolina.
It's very
East
funny
Coast
because
ends with Maryland,
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's
and
it's funny
Maryland's
like
iffy.
it is. Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, people like in Maryland, it's very funny because it's a mixture of like a very very like fuck you kind of attitude of the North versus like Southern charm. And it's a weird mixture because it's one that I would like a lot. I want to make that clear, Maryland. I like you. But like, it is kind of fun because it's a lot more of like just it's like the liberal South,
Mhm.
like because it's people who are like kinder to other people but actually mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we appreciate. Alrighty. I'm gonna ask you guys now what you think a state's favorite burger chain is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Alrighty. What do you think South Dakota's favorite burger chain is?
South Dakota.
Culver's.
Oh, that's a good guess. Does Culver's count as well, I guess yeah. That's like their thing. I don't know burger chains at all. This is outside of my area of expertise.
This is stereotypical. I'll read the only ones on the list because a lot of them are very widespread. Your options are Carl's Jr., In-N-Out, Burger King, Whataburger, Culver's, Steak and Shake, Five Guys, McDonald's, Wendy's. Yeah.
I
I'm
was
with
gonna say Whataburger and In-N-Out are not there.
Yeah, I was like, those are not in that region. So I'm gonna say go with Ryan Culver's.
It's Burger King.
I was
It was
I was
surprising,
thinking
right?
Burger King, but I was also gonna think like and maybe it's because I'm in Illinois, but I've never met a soul in my life that says Burger King is like a good restaurant to go to. And I
Yeah,
often
that's what I think.
don't understand how it survives as a business because I don't know anyone who eats there.
I agree, and it's very funny to me because, like, as a vegetarian, for the longest time, that was the only place with a good vegetarian option, like a good vegetarian like burger. And so it's like for the longest time, I was like, Burger King is the greatest because like they have this one
Oh,
thing for
weird.
me kind of thing. And so then like everyone was like, Burger King sucks, like it's the worst, and I'm like, what? They have like the only good thing.
I was not aware they had a
Um,
vegetarian burger. I don't think I've ever really got a vegetarian burger from a fast food place until Culver's has one now. So I got one at
Mhm.
Culver's. But no,
How was
Fair.
it?
didn't realize Burger King even had
Yeah,
one.
it's good.
I know their fries are really bad, and that's the merit
Mhm.
with which I judge fast food places. So
Yeah.
No, that's fair. Yeah. So for the longest time, their veggie Whopper was like the only like black bean burger. Basically, I don't know if they've replaced it now with an Impossible Burger because they might have.
probably,
Probably.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh man, we lost Ryan.
Every time I passed a Burger King, though, I'd just be like, "How are you still? How are you still
I
here?
love it.
Who eats there?"
It's been probably 5 years since I've had their veggie Whopper, so I'm sure it doesn't still exist. But that's oh man, it was so good. Ah, okay.
Hello.
Yeah, but it's exciting stuff. It's a time. It is. I will say, Culver's is surrounding that. Like that
Mhm.
is predominantly the Midwest
Yeah, in the
favorite.
Midwest, it's very increasingly Culver's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much better than Burger King. You mentioned it. Like I don't know how Burger King is in business. There's nothing good about it. Like Chick-fil-A, it's
Um.
like everyone's like, oh, the chicken sandwich, McDonald's, the fries, Culver's has ice cream. Same with Wendy's. What's Burger King
Fair.
got? Burgers are like nothing special.
Fair. Oh man.
Quick,
Okay.
while we're on the subject of fast food, this might be one of your
Yeah.
things, but out of the three big pizza fast food chains, which is the best? So Domino's, Pizza Hut, and Papa John's.
I think this is an easy answer. And I think
I
everyone
think
thinks
it's
it's
also
an
an
easy
easy
answer, and
answer.
no one agrees.
Adam?
Yeah.
Adam, I remember having this conversation with you in an elevator my freshman year of college.
Sounds like me. Do you remember my answer?
Oh man. Okay.
I said Domino's was my favorite, and I'm pretty sure you judged me.
Yes.
Domino's is also my favorite.
Because-
I feel better saying it now.
Because I don't really like Domino's. I think Papa John's is the best one.
I think it goes.
But Pizza Hut, we can all agree, is the worst, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think. Okay. So if we're just judging taste, right? It goes Domino's, Pizza Hut. No, sorry. If it goes Domino's, Papa John's, Pizza Hut. If we're judging like moral of the company, we're going Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's.
Although Papa John's, because the founder, he did all his racist stuff, and they fired him
Yeah.
and cut him off from the company completely. So I think Papa John's is doing
it flips
okay.
back. It flips back then.
Yeah,
I
like
was on the same
instantly.
page
Like
as him. I didn't
he
know
was racist.
fired.
They cut him off completely. They literally like
We love that.
entered into something. It's like a nuclear option where if he tries to like purchase enough stock to get back on the board, it like
Yeah.
gets rid of all
It
the
cuts
stock
him
he
out.
owns at all. Like
Wow.
yeah, they hardcore cut him off
love
completely.
that.
Yeah.
And so like
Good for Papa John's.
that guy is on like a campaign to say that Papa John's pizza is bad now.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's also
Wow.
funny because he's just a really stupid dude.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the whole thing is like he said the N-word in like a
Uh-huh.
company call, and then like he was in the news recently. He's like, I've been trying really hard not to say the N-word for 8 months. And it's like that's
It shouldn't
not
be that
something you
difficult.
brag about.
I've never said it in my life, sir, and
It's
I've never
something
felt
you
the
don't
need.
do.
Oh man.
That's so funny.
Man, we got to talk about that in a second. Well, like I want to finish the pizza talk and then we'll talk
Mhm.
about that. But I do think that it's really really like it comes down to the sides for me because I think the pizzas themselves for Papa John's and Domino's are not so radically different that everyone makes them out to be.
That's fair. They
I
are very
like
similar.
they're very similar. They're just college pizza. Like they're not like special. And so I like the Domino's has like a spinach and feta stuffed bread thing that I'll get for like if it's a bigger order kind of thing. Love that. I love the little like cinnamon bites. And that's all I get from Domino's. So those and the lava cakes. Those are good. Um so it just comes down to what else you can get from them because the pizza's not that different,
I
but they're
was
both
gonna
way
say
better than Pizza Hut.
I
Little
have
Caesars
to
is better than
disagree.
Pizza Hut. That's
Really?
my
No,
hot take. I think Little
no.
Caesars is actually somehow fairly decent pizza for the price. You're paying $5 for a full pizza that is all right. For
That's true.
$5. Pizza Hut is like, we'll give you crap pizza for $10.
I disagree. I'm gonna say my ranking goes Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's, and then
Wow.
Little Caesars all the way at the bottom. I
Wow.
had Little
Sure.
Caesars
Wow.
recently.
Sure.
It
Little
was
Caesars is bad.
terrible.
It's
There
not
is a big quality fluctuation in Little Caesars. I have had genuinely good pizzas from Little Caesars, and I've also had extremely disgusting pizzas from Little Caesars.
I will say I think Little Caesars is a pizza that only exists for college students, and I've only ever had it in college. And so it's like I don't think I ever had Little Caesars
Oh,
before I went to
I had Little
college.
Caesars all the time. Like for any big gathering, it would be Little Caesars. Like any
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
no.
school sponsored thing, Little Caesars. Any
It's
like
easy
just
to
general
make.
party, Little Caesars. Because it's so
Nah.
cheap and it's so easy.
Yeah. The crazy
Right. No, I
bread is
get it.
good.
And the crazy bread is really
Um,
good.
So that's something I was gonna bring up about Pizza Hut though, is that their like cheesy breadsticks are good. Like that's because
Mhm.
it's like what I think I don't like about their pizza is that it's too much like of like I the sauce is bad on Pizza Hut pizzas. And then it's also just like too much of something. I don't know if it's like too much bread to cheese or like too much cheese to bread or what. But like the tastes are not bad. It's just that it's too much of one, and so it makes it just not
Mhm.
worth it. But it's like perfectly ratioed on the cheese bread.
So I had it recently. The reason I'm
Mhm.
putting it above Papa John's is
Fair.
one, they have so many options with it and like so many like meal kits of like you can get like dinner for two people and like yeah, like one pizza is gonna be pretty expensive at $10, but like dinner for two people where you can get like a pizza and like a dessert and some bread ends up being
Right.
like $13,
Yeah,
which like
that's
Yeah,
pretty
that is
good.
pretty
isn't
good. Yeah.
bad.
No.
And then the other thing is Papa John's now has stuffed crust pizza. I've had that twice and it has not been good. I've tried Pizza Hut's stuffed crust and it is
Mhm.
delicious.
Fair.
Fair.
Yeah.
Stuffed crust pizza is very good. I don't know if I've had
Yeah.
Pizza Huts, but it's pretty good.
Fair. Man, what a world. I was talking with my mom about this the other week. That the thing that I miss most in the world is there's a chain called Jet's Pizza.
Yes,
Um,
Jess Pizza is so good.
it is so amazing, and
It's great.
it's not this high up in the on the East Coast. Like it's very much a like southern East Coast like restaurant. Like I'm sure it exists in the Midwest too, but
Yeah, there's a
like
bunch of Jets Pizza by us.
like I've been trying so hard to find one and I just can't since I lived in Tennessee. And it's so sad because they have like their deep dish pizza is not like Midwest deep dish. It's like not. It's different. I don't know what to say.
Mhm.
It's just like it's what I expect deep dish to be from the terminology, but then like it's it's rectangular and it's like a lot more like uh of the type of pizza that you would make in like a casserole dish kind of thing, like where the bread is a lot like crispier on the sides and like it's a lot like there's more butter and everything like that, and it's so good. And I just want Jets pizza. um, man, what a world! But one day, um, yeah. Alrighty, let's figure out something else funky. What do you think? Um, what do you think Louisiana's go-to burger joint is?
Whataburger.
Oh yeah, gotta be Whataburger,
Whataburger.
right? Yeah. Well,
It's
that's like the
yeah.
Southern burger chain, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like it's just around Texas. It's not like a southern one.
Oh, it's like a
It's
Texas
so
burger chain.
literally on this map, it's just Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana.
I've seen one in Georgia before.
They exist all around, but that's just like where they're popular is like
Gotcha.
just around there. Because I think they also have them in like New Mexico and Colorado and like Kansas and everything like that.
But there's probably a war between them and Chick-fil-A.
Probably. Alrighty, let's see. What about Illinois? What do you guys think your own favorite one is?
For burger joints?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Culver's again, just because Culver's is so big in the Midwest. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Chicago suburbs have every burger joint imaginable, so I don't see
Yeah.
like more of one than others. And
That's what
I
I
don't
was
know. I feel like everyone's got their own personal preference that I know, so I don't know anyone that's like. I don't sense like a strong. Everyone loves this one.
Does
What I will
Portillo's count?
say, it does not. But
Oh.
what I will say as a hint is this surprises me because I like granted I was not in the Chicago area, I was in Peoria, so I can't say that I know what Illinois has, but I didn't know that this restaurant was in Illinois.
Interesting. Where did you? That might be too much of a given, but
What
where
were
do you
your
think
choices?
it was?
That is a giveaway.
Okay.
I can say it if you want, but it's a
No,
giveaway.
no.
What are the choices again?
Options are Carl's Jr., In-N-Out, Five Guys, Steak and Shake, Burger King, Culver's, Whataburger, McDonald's, Wendy's. I think that's it.
Dang, I have no idea. I don't know what you could think that you didn't think
Five
was in
Guys.
Illinois. I was gonna think Five Guys too, but I literally don't know a single person that has talked about Five Guys and been like, I
People
like
really
Five
like
Guys.
Five Guys.
I was about to
heard-
talk about Five Guys and say I really like Five Guys.
Yeah,
I don't
I've
think I've
heard
ever been
people.
there.
I can't have it because they use peanut oil.
Oh.
Oh, that makes sense. That is a bummer though because their fries are amazing.
But there's also
they
like
have-
only one downstate.
I believe that. They also they have as like one of their vegetarian options. I don't think they have like a veggie burger to my knowledge, but they do have like a grilled cheese where they just put a bunch of veggies on it. So it's just like a bunch of grilled vegetables and like cheese and it's
Oh.
really tasty. It's
Sounds
so
pretty
good. Yeah.
I can go for that.
Oh, absolutely. You would love it. It's very filling and very tasty. And you're like, I feel normal. Oh yeah. Any other guesses? Or final guesses, I guess?
No,
I guess
I'm going Five
I'm
Guys.
going Five Guys too.
it's In-N-Out.
In-N-Out.
Wait,
Which I was shocked by.
Is there?
Does that
there
exist
is no In-N-Out in
Illinois?
Illinois.
I don't think I've ever seen In-N-Out in Illinois.
There is no In-N-Out in Illinois.
According to this website,
I think your
Illinois is
website's wrong.
top. Maybe it. It's just a poll website.
Wait,
Unless
it's
everyone
not-
in Illinois has been to like the West Coast and was
Right.
like, wow, this was so good.
Well, so that's why I would have given it away, is because I always associate In-N-Out with the West Coast.
Yeah, I don't think there are any In-N-Outs in Illinois. On
Then why is Illinois
InandOut.com, it
voted?
does not list any locations there.
Well, I see 2 in Chicago,
Oh, okay.
but I feel like 2 should not be.
It's not enough.
Right,
Yeah.
that shouldn't be the state's preference if that's how many you have.
it's weird that that's the preference. I agree. That's why I wanted to question it.
Yeah, it's
um,
so West Coast. I mean, California, really
right.
weird.
Other interesting ones to note in
Hmm,
my mind is that only one state prefers Carl's Jr. and it's Oregon. Um,
weird.
Hawaii prefers Burger King, which I
Hmm.
just thought was interesting. Um, and then yeah, so it's very interesting because both coasts are very set on what their favorite restaurant is, and so it's like West Coast is very much In and Out, and
Yeah,
East Coast is very much Five Guys.
sure.
But then like the Midwest is very mixed, where it's like more in the South, it's obviously Whataburger, and then you have like Culver's and Burger King and Five Guys and like
Hmm.
not Five Guys, sorry, Steak and Shake. Um, yeah,
I don't
it's
know
like
why
it's much
anyone
more
would
mixed
list
in the
Steak and
Midwest.
Shake as their favorite restaurant, or I guess
I
favorite burger joint. Like, I don't think
right,
as a vegetarian, I have not had their
right.
burger. I've only had their like grilled cheese and like
Yeah, they're grilled
fries.
cheese.
But the
Yep.
food that I've eaten is not good. So to think
Not
that people
good.
would be like, "What a great burger!" There's no way
Right.
that they have somehow can make a good burger if they can't make good
Don't they
fries and
do
can't make
like
good grilled cheese.
don't they do like some it's steak though, right? Like isn't it like something else? Like it's not like a regular
Oh,
burger?
I don't know. Maybe Ryan,
Um 'cause-
our
yeah,
meat
Ryan,
expert
you
here.
can
For where at?
for Steak and Shake, aren't their burgers like made of something different? Like isn't that why people prefer them?
Um, I don't know.
Fair.
That's a good question. I know Culver's, yeah, they have the butter burger, which it's
Right, that's true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
cooked in butter. Unhealthy, but
Um
delicious.
yeah.
I know a lot of people who have spent an overwhelmingly large amount of money at Culver's.
I it always like shocks me when people really go for it with places like these because it's like for me it's always been like a quick meal kind of thing or like if it's like on the road kind of thing but never like you know
Yeah, well, for pretty much all fast food, I've only ever gotten fast food on like road trips. Like
right
I don't ever eat fast food on a day to day. So that's
if,
like
if, if
just
I'm like
foreign to me
really busy
generally.
sometimes I will but it's
But if
like
I'm really busy
it's
and I need fast food, I'll go get Subway.
Subway is like my preferred fast food too yeah because it's probably the best one for vegetarians
It's the best one for vegetarians.
um
And it's got really
like because
good
you don't have
bread,
so
and
many
I'll die on
options.
that hill.
Oh yeah, no, their bread is great. Is
Ever
it is
my
it
fam
questionably bred in England? Yeah, but is it good? Yes.
my family really likes Jimmy John's, but I think Jimmy John's bread is not good.
I don't mind their bread, but I do mind the hunting. Um, so I don't know. I like my mentality with Jimmy John's is always like if it's a free sandwich that's offered to me, I'll do it. If I have to like pay them money, probably not. Um, but yeah, I don't know. All the time. I think that fast food restaurants are very interesting as far as people's preferences go. But yeah, alrighty.
Well, what rained on you guys' parade?
Hmm.
Because I have a rant.
You go for it while we think.
Yeah.
Well, I have a decent amount of options that could lead to funny stories, but what I want to rant about is the Olympics and how difficult it is to watch the Olympics. It's the Olympics. It should be super easy to watch. It's the Olympics, but somehow it is next to impossible unless you have cable to watch the Olympics, and it's been very
Right.
annoying. As one of the few times I'll be very nationalist is the Olympics, and now I can't support my country as we do very well in sports.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I feel like we're really nationalistic about it, but like, I don't know. Why don't we just like make it available? Be like, hey, let's support the US. And like, I don't know. Also, the other thing is like, it's hard to watch it sometimes. Like, even if you do have access, because it'll be like, I want to see some American teams. And it'll be
Oh
like,
sure.
oh, hey, let's show like archery between Brazil and China. And it's like, okay, good for them. But like,
Although
America's also like playing this sport and they're not showing that.
I will say I like that because I think a lot of times they have that method of like, we're just gonna show America, but I
Yeah.
want to see everybody. I want to see all the sports in all the countries because every country
I'll
gets
see
their
like
chance
the
to shine.
finals if it's
Mhm.
like other countries, but I want to see America. Like I feel like for America, that's my nationalistic.
Yeah,
We were talking about this before. I just don't care about the Olympics. And I literally every like single Olympics always want to. And like there was a bunch of YouTube promo for the Olympics, right? Where they were like having more like average people try certain like Olympics things, or like having people like Olympians teach a normal person how to do whatever sport, you know?
the
Yeah.
Try Guys had a whole series.
They did, and that was one of the ones that I watched, and it was really well done, and it was really interesting. And it was like, oh, like that's fun, but it's like I can never bring myself to be like, how did they do in like this random thing? And it's like I don't know. I always want to care, and I'm always like, isn't it so cool? Like the whole world's coming together, and that's interesting. But then I'm also just like, I I don't know. I feel like it's a thing that it's like it's always felt so distanced, and so it's like maybe it's because like if I was like at an Olympic event, I would for sure get into it because like I don't mind watching sports, but I think that it is that mentality of like watching sports on TV versus watching sports in person is like I can get really hyped for watching sports in person, but
Sure.
like not as much on a TV. Yeah. I think that's what it is. I think I
Mhm.
just figured it out. I think I just don't like sports on TV.
I
Oh
think
man.
it's interesting, just the Olympics as a concept. Like, have you ever heard the idea
Mhm.
that like the Olympics is cursed?
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like the Olympic flame, because the whole thing is the Olympic flame never goes out, or
Mhm.
like so they have like different vials, and they'll have like a museum that's always sitting in, like always burning, and then
Yeah.
they'll have like the torch running too, and like if it goes out, then they'll just like relight it.
Mhm.
Um, but the whole thing is the idea of the Olympic torch didn't actually come from like the ancient Greeks. It was actually an idea introduced in the 1930s by the Germans when they hosted the Olympics.
Mhm.
Which, if you know anything about history, those Germans weren't
Weren't
up to
too
good
great in the
stuff. Yeah.
30s. It's very funny to me, and I don't know why. And I think that that's like the timing of it is interesting because I think just a lot of people were really into Eternal Flames around then.
Hmm.
Because like so, um, the uh Battle of Gettysburg, right? They had a reunion like the 75th reunion after it, where they also like erected the peace light, which is an eternal flame kind of thing that's like lit to be like, no, we're doing it, like we're peaceful now.
Hmm.
And it's just like it's always interesting to me to be like, why, like what's the point of having an eternal flame for things? And people get very very invested in it, which to be fair, it's funny because like people our age have like Snapchat streaks, which is just a digital version of keeping something eternal.
Because when you get a streak,
Like,
there's a little fire with it, so
because
it's
you can
your own eternal
have fire.
flame.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just a funny thing to me that humans like it when fire keeps going. Like, uh
The
our
love
little
Centralia,
caveman mind.
Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, Olympics are weird too because it's like these countries have to put in like so much work. That's the other
Mhm.
thing is like it used to be a big thing of like, oh, we want to host the Olympics, and now it's like no one really wants to host the Olympics
No, it's a
because
burden.
it's a giant burden. It takes 5 years. You have to like
Mhm.
pay for all yourself. There's like a laundry list of things you have to complete with it. It really doesn't make you that much money. And like plus the big thing like when with Brazil hosted is like they built all these buildings and now it's like what do
And
you
what do you
do
do
with
with
all
them?
these buildings?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although it is because my dad works in construction, and like 15 years ago, Chicago was making a big push to try to get the Olympics, and ultimately didn't succeed. But my dad was very much involved in trying to get bids and figure out financial, like be like, hey, let's have the Olympics here in Chicago, and it's major business for construction
Mhm.
companies to do it. It's
Well,
like
sure, yeah. That
it
makes
is
sense.
helpful for like economically in that area, and obviously tourists if you're not in COVID. So like it's helpful.
Not only that, but then also like you could do things with the buildings.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I was talking about this with someone the other day about like how many abandoned malls we have. Is like like you could easily make like free housing and
Mhm.
like care about people or like in COVID times have one of them be like a like hospital kind of thing. Like you can do things with buildings, but people
Yeah.
don't want to unless it makes them money.
Yeah, it's a big thing too. Of like, I know there's a difference between like London hosted it in 2012, and like they've sorta like they cleaned up like an area of town is where they
Right.
put their Olympic Park, and then like they've sort of redeveloped that a bit. And I know Tokyo as well. Like they only built like what they needed to, and like everything
Right.
else they built like temporary structures
Hmm.
or
Mhm.
just used existing things that they had, which
Yeah.
was also really smart. So
That's fair. Yeah. What a world. How about you, Ryan? What's been up on your mind?
I don't know, not much really.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anything pet peeve wise.
A sunny thing then.
Yeah.
Funny thing. Um, I don't know. I finished my internship. It was a lot of fun.
Woo.
Exciting.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
And yeah,
Good stuff. Wrapping
not
up.
much. Just
Starting
chilling.
school
Yeah,
soon.
starting school
Yeah.
soon, which is also exciting.
Yeah. Ah, man. I'm gonna do a sunny thing. I've been able to try a lot of like fancier breads, like cooking fancier breads, and I'm getting like pretty okay at it. And it's
Nice.
very exciting. Like it was something that I had talked about at the beginning of the year to like want to try some more complicated recipes. Uh, and I halfway through the year did it. So it's exciting. I made focaccia, I made a challah, and then I've also been working on a few different types of like uh, noodles and like wonton wrappers and stuff like that. And so I'm excited. It's fun. It's like just time consuming. That's what I've noticed is that it's not difficult. It just takes a long time
Yeah.
to do.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, like with one of the breads, I was making it while we were recording, and I had woken up like we were recording in the morning, um, but I had woken up at like 5 a.m. to start the bread, because I was like that way it'll be done by the time I call them, and it was nowhere near done, and I was like, oh okay, I guess we're gonna just keep waiting. But yeah, still fun. So yeah. Um, try to debate with your friends which burgers are better than others and which fast food places make sense in Illinois and which ones don't.
Mhm.
And to watch movies.
Because we always end up talking about movies.
We'll
Yeah.
always talk about movies. And have a sunny Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.